Clash of Clans podcast, special episode number 7. And we're back. Well, actually, I'm back with the second part of the interview with Boaz, which we just started getting into the good stuff. Well, there was a lot of good stuff, but we get to dive deeper into a lot of the stuff that we first started talking about, and plus the things with the clans coming up. So without much further ado, I will roll it over and continue the interview. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, I want to talk about the trophy push because it sounded a lot like kind of what happened with me and all this other stuff that's going on. So troops, though.
Oh yeah, so yeah, the last thing about upgrading to Town Hall 9 was the troops. So the order of importance for troops for me, just based on my style of farming and everything, would be archers, then barbarians, then maybe work on minions some more. I mean, just being practical,
Yeah.
maybe doing, I guess there's no dragon upgrades. Maybe, giants, and then once I get into other things, there's not too much else that I use a lot. Like I would like to have hog riders upgraded, but I have been, pumping most of my stuff into my dark elixir into the heroes and everything.
Where are your heroes at? What level?
My king is 8 and my queen is 4.
Jesus, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't, but I've been totally dropping the ball on upgrading my dark.
I think
troops.
it's going to be
minions are 3, and that's it.
And I think it's going to be so interesting because when this news came out, and we'll get back to this troop thing.
Mm-hmm.
It really starts to put the game in perspective because if you've been playing for any length of time, you know that new things are introduced.
Mm-hmm.
And so now with this new loot system, as I start watching the video, I go, are they going to screw me? Are they screwing me here?
No, I think it's good for Town Hall 10. I think that's the upshot, is that it doesn't punish you for being Town Hall 10 and for being high in trophies.
Yeah, so they've changed it, and so they're not screwing me, but in a way I'm going, well, fuck, what happens if I would have started later? When I think about, because like with this whole the whole switch over with the spells and everything, I go, this is gonna be a lot easier for people that are new to the game to catch up fast in defenses.
That's really true. I mean, I don't think it's true as much with this latest update, but when they do the updates and they're like, we made wizard towers, take 5 days instead of 8 days. You're like, well, fuck, I just spent 8 days upgrading my wizard tower. Why didn't you come out with that last week? You know, and all the different little things like that. Takes less time, takes less money, like, okay, great. Well, I already spent that time and money. So, good luck for the people who are, just starting, but it doesn't help me much.
And that's what I was afraid of with this thing. I'm sitting there going, oh shit. But that's the thing now with raiding. I'm going, I don't even need to go for gold because the only thing that gold costs me is defenses and the amount it takes to spend it to go to the next battle to check on things.
Or walls. Yeah, to check on things.
So if I don't care that much about my camp because I don't have that much of an incentive, now gold's just adding up. I mean, it's like, okay, I'm just going for elixir and all of a sudden I've got... So I'm thinking, it's going to be a lot easier for newer people to, once they get the spell factory or whatever...
that'll be big. That'll be interesting.
To upgrade walls, it'll be easier to do all this, but ultimately, I always think it does even the playing field, and it ends up keeping the game interesting for me, and it keeps it interesting overall. Is okay.
Yeah, it's like walls are gold, spells are elixir, and everything else, so it kind of makes it.
And what reminded me of that was the heroes, because you've got your at 9, going to 9, and I'm not sure when the heroes were introduced. Mm-hmm. But if you were at that level and they got introduced and were available to lower level people, they had more of an opportunity. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah. It's something to think about. But okay.
So yeah, the last thing is so once my lab finished, my elixir storage wasn't finished, so I couldn't make archers. My maximum elixir was 6 million. I had quite a few days to wait until my elixir storage could handle archers. So I was like, well, shit, I don't really want to wait around leaving a useless lab while I'm waiting to get archers, even though I want those the most.
Right.
But I knew I was about to do a push, and I looked at the stats. Archers go up like 10% in attack, and then like 50% in price or something, and similar with barbs. And then G6 or level 6 giants, they go like 50% increased in hit points and attack, and then like 20%. This is, I'm totally
Yeah.
pulling this out of my ass, but
Right.
but like
I understand.
20% increase in price. Like it's just,
So you
and I
look
remember you
at,
guys mentioning this before,
yeah,
like talking about this in the past, and I totally am understanding it now that
yeah,
it's
you
so much more efficient and worthwhile
you
to
get
do
to that
that.
point where you have to decide because it takes a long time, and you have to save up and you have to
Hmm.
prioritize, and you go, okay, I'm going to be trying to get elixir,
Hmm.
and I'm going to be paying more for this one troop that's not going to really do as much for me as this
Hmm.
other troop. And you're using them.
Hmm.
You're using barbs, you're using archers, you're using giants.
Hmm.
And that's where I started with. And I'm not. You can finish with yours,
Hmm.
but mine was my rule was upgrade what you use.
Hmm. Yeah, and so that's what was interesting for me is that I don't use giants. Like that was going to be my third or even later upgrade, but I knew that this trophy push was coming. So I use archers and barbarians when I'm farming, but when I'm trophy pushing, I realized that I would want to be using the level 6 giant or the G6 is do people call it G6 in your clan?
No, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, G6 is what they call it in clans that I've been in.
Like a
But
G6, like
yeah, G6.
uh,
But yeah, so I was like, well, I'm not going to use these in the future, but I really want to do well in this push, and I'll upgrade everything eventually. So I did those first, and I was totally like I was discussing it with my friends, like what should I do? And they're like, dude, just do the archers. That doesn't make
I know
sense. You
everybody
have it now.
everybody pushed for archers, and
Hmm.
I'm with you. Okay.
Yeah, so I had to wait extra days, and it's so negligible the amount of hit points and damage increase. I mean, when you have like 100 of them, then it does make a difference. But so the giants, I'm so glad I used like halfway through the upgrade. I was like, dude, I screwed up.
Yeah.
I could have had these but so the thing
Yeah.
is, I would have had the archers. They would have finished with like 4 days left in the push. The Giants would have finished with like 8 days left in the push. So they would have helped me so much more of the
Wow. That's a
time.
good way to think about it.
Yeah, so that I really thought about it like that. And so, but halfway through, I was like, oh, I should have just gone with archers.
I'm
I don't
having
even.
upgrade regret.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, upgrade remorse. Yeah,
Yeah, upgrade
shoppers or
remorse.
whatever. But but yeah. So then, by the time I was the push was well underway, I was like, thank God I did the giants because my entire strategy involved just giants and archers, and it wouldn't have worked with level 5 giants. And I mean, I got up way higher than my goal. My goal was 2,500. I got over 2,700, and if I had not done the Giants, I would have been so much lower. Like it would have shaved, 300 cups off my final record that I reached. And so I was just so relieved. I was like, I'm not going to use these like for a really long time, but man, did that help, in the trophy push. And so, I guess like, in the future when we talk about the push, I can discuss the
Let's just
strategy.
talk about it because everybody has heard kind of what I did. I went with what I used, and I finally did. Now I've got a bunch of shit that I need to upgrade, but I'm struggling with the drill, like I said,
Hmm.
and my next thing is going to be I want to do wizards, I really do,
Hmm.
but I use bombers, and
Mm,
so
yep.
I did the goblins. I don't use goblins much. I started using them because when I was talking with Boneyard, we figured out they can take one hit from an archer, like level 10 or level 11 or whatever,
Hmm.
and or they can take two hits. And so all of a sudden you like double your capacity
Yeah,
basically.
that is such an interesting thing that it's like suddenly they're twice as they might have increased by like 2 hit points, but if that's 2 hit points more than the archer tower does damage or the
Yeah.
cannon or whatever or the mortar, that they're like twice as good. So
Yeah,
I mean
because you
that's really interesting, like the different plateaus or whatever where it
Yeah, and
where
it's
it
something to pay
matters.
attention to. Go
Mhm.
look at the hit points, and I don't pay attention. I don't have them all categorized
Yeah, I'm way
in
too
my.
lazy to do that.
Yeah,
I just can't. I can't do it.
too
Can't
busy
keep track.
battling and rating.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I
Well,
could be rating, or I could be making a pie chart or
but
a spreadsheet about this.
yeah, and it is good to at least know. Like I know now, like okay, thinking more about it. Okay, I shouldn't go up against a level 12 with goblins.
Hmm.
Archer or whatever, because you can take them out with
Yeah,
one. Then it's
yeah.
like okay, if I want to use gobs, look for the battle with something a little bit lower.
Hmm.
If I can think about it in those moments,
Yeah, if
most
you
of the
knew the
time I'm going, oh
exact
god, it's 200,000. I gotta go.
Yeah, if you knew the exact amount, like, how what level thing can take out what level troop, that would be really useful, but that would be so much like work to keep that in your mind. The way that people do use that though is people would memorize the amount of lightning spells at which level lightning spells would take out which level of air defense. And I was too lazy to even do that, but that is really useful in lower levels when people, just use their spells to be lightning taking out air defense, then bring in
Oh
giants for the
yes,
healer
or
or
the mortars,
dragons.
or the
Yeah,
mortars.
yeah, or the mortars. Yeah, exactly. To memorize what level lightning spells will take out what level mortar, and like I'm too lazy to do that. So I would drop one, see what percentage it took, drop another one, see what percentage it took. But some people would immediately drop three or immediately drop two because they memorized,
What?
the
Yeah, what
ratio
they
or
had.
whatever. Yeah.
Um, Did you? Or the one thing I want to. So let's talk about the trophy push. But I do want to just ask this: when I did, when I went to 10, I took one. I basically had whatever builder working on the one thing to try to catch up to all the other stuff, and I
Hmm.
didn't put everything on the board
Hmm.
only because right away I didn't just build everything. I
Yeah.
just focused it. Even I thought, well, even the archer just being there would do
Hmm.
something, but it also takes if I'm not protecting it and it's sitting outside, they're gonna take more percentage of my camp.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh,
So
that's a good point. Yeah.
I built things as I could focus on them.
Hmm.
So I
Which is
haven't
a different Like I went with the opposite strategy, but that's a totally viable strategy with advantages also. So it's interesting how people decide.
and I still haven't built the I,
Inferno Tower.
yeah, the Inferno Tower.
Oh, Scotty, come on.
No, because well, first of all, I don't know where I'd put them, and then I'd have to have. Okay, and here's my dilemma. And then we'll
Hmm.
get to the trophy push because, um, my dilemma was that shit. I forgot where I was going with it.
That you couldn't get
Oh,
8 million
here's my
gold.
dilemma. Sorry, here's
Uh-huh.
my dilemmas. So I had so the last update happened. My builders got busy again. I'm doing the bombs. I'm doing all the stuff and upgrading, and it's so nice. And I just got done with a lot of the early uh, Town Hall 10 upgrades.
Like the new mines and
Yeah,
collectors and crap
yeah,
like
the new
that.
mines,
Yeah,
the Archer Tower. I got the
good
caught up.
things.
My cannon
Hmm.
just finished to where my other things were,
Nice.
and I thought, how should I proceed with my defenses?
Yeah, it's such a. I mean, there's so many different options, and
I
everyone goes a different direction with it.
in my one thought, and I really kind of hung on to it for a while, and I kind of am. I'm still toying with the idea of what to do, especially now with this news. There's so much to think about. But
Hmm.
do you just go with the cheapest thing first and have those builders busy? Because you can't get back
So,
time in the game,
hmm
and you would be constantly, going to the next thing. They would be taking
hmm
longer, and you would just, be at that thing. Because I've got my air defenses or this, I can go up to level 12, and my
Archer
archers,
towers,
and so you
cannons.
start going. What do I do? Do I go all the
Hmm.
way up and leave
Yeah.
builders sleepy
Hmm.
when
Well,
the stuff's on my board anyways? Why don't I just
yeah.
let them? So what did you? I mean, what? Any
So I
thoughts
did
on
kind
that?
of like a hybrid. Oh, definitely. Yeah. I did kind of a hybrid. Like when I went up Town Hall 9, I did, half my loot went to or half my gold went to Expo. The other half went to making all my little things. And because it would just have been so boring to make two Expos, twiddle my thumbs for 10 days, and then get to do other things. So I did one Expo,
Do you only
then
have two
I
builders?
No, I have 5 builders,
Oh,
but I
okay.
only had 6 million
Oh, okay,
gold,
okay,
and they each
okay,
cost 3 million. So,
okay.
but I mean,
I
I
thought, wow,
actually
that's
started my
amazing.
second expo within a couple days or something because I got, the gold to do it. But so I saved a builder to use for, all the little things. And if that might not be the most like actually effective or efficient way to do it, if you like calculate it out, that might not be the smartest because you're, like you said, you're giving a more percent of your base that's easy to get and everything. But it would have been so boring to
Yeah,
pour all my gold into, one thing or, two things and, handicap 2 builders because the other builders are doing lab, drill, and what's the other one? The elixir storage. And so
see,
then you got nothing. You're just like every,
well,
few hours or few days you up the elixir storage, and besides that you don't do anything.
and when you hit 10 though, you get an extra mine and a pump and a
Hmm.
drill. So
Yeah.
I maxed out. I had the 2 going for that, and then I
Hmm.
basically took the archer tower, the cannon, and the wizard tower, and I just kept upgrading them, to where
Hmm.
they were, and in the expo too. And then all of a sudden, my builders start getting sleepy, and I start
Hmm.
going, well, did I like it when my builders were going? This one's, 4.2 million. Should I do that, or should I just go for the wizard tower?
Hmm.
Do I start and
Oh, for
just
sure.
do all the small things because I
Hmm.
could just go to the next thing and build it up that way? And
Hmm.
so I've been puzzling over that a lot.
So
Um,
yeah, I mean, I ended up getting both the expos going within the first, day or two of Town Hall 9, and I got one of them up to level 2 before I started the trophy push. But of course, in the trophy push, all my goals like, just gone, and or at least I wasn't um, using it, because I didn't want any defenses to be down because I wanted to use them to protect my base. So anyway, I got one of them up to level 2. So the other one, I could have done, with the momentum I had, I could have, just got the other one up to level 2, level 3 probably. But doing the push, everything slowed down. But I got everything up, pretty well. I really wanted my wizard towers to all be pink because that was annoying
yeah,
me that I had one gray one. But
I've got
at
one
one point I
purple
just
one.
had I have one purple one now too because I just had so much gold and I was like, this gold is all going to get raided from me unless I upgrade something. And so the wizard, I don't know, 5 point something million, I don't know exactly, but it looks really cool. So
So are your builders busy now?
no, they're not very.
Okay,
They're embarrassingly
okay,
sleepy. I think I'm sleeping 2 right now, and I'm not working on walls. I'm not in like a good rating groove. I'm not low enough yet either. I'm still dropping. I think I'm still crystal. So once I get in my good range, I'll start farming better. But right now I'm still handicapped by the push that I did.
okay. And
But
remind me to come back to
yeah, no problem.
return to. So okay, tell me about this trophy push. So was this your first one?
Oh no, so okay. So this is my third one. So I've been with this group of guys about 10 to 12 of us. We've been together for like almost since I started playing, which was like March or something like that. Um and so we've just been going up together, each town hall and everything, and it's been, it's a lot of fun. There's camaraderie and we talk a lot of shit and everything. And so we did organized trophy pushes at different points in our career. So with our first clan we were in, the Iron Sons, we did a trophy push there. I was level, I don't know, I really don't know, 40 or 50 or something. I got up to level about 1800, and I was pretty or 1800 cups, the gold
Okay,
one or whatever. And so that was pretty cool. I was like, wow,
yeah.
that's impressive. And so quite a while later, I did one with the next clan I was in, which was the Oasis. And there I was just hoping to get crystal, and I got 2270 or something like that.
Okay.
And level, I don't know, level 70ish maybe or something. And
What was how long between? Do you think?
Oh, so there was several months between each push. Like
Okay.
we were in different clans, so it wasn't like an organized schedule or anything, and so
And
it just kind of
did,
happened like
did the
that.
clan, like both clans, did a complete trophy push?
Yeah, everyone was in on it. Like there'd be some, bunch of stragglers. What we do, because there's a bunch of people like, oh no, I'm not gonna do that. Fuck it, and then they totally screw over the clan and
Right.
bring the total down. So with us, like everyone's too nice, man. When they make, if you want a strong clan, you got to like put your foot down. You want active players. You want players that are gonna, use teamwork, band together. You don't want, dead fish in your clan unless maybe they're
Right.
like a friend in real life or something,
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that. And but so we just said when we did our push, like you get crystal or you get kicked out. And it's, I mean, everyone was at least level 70. Like you can get crystal
Okay. So
in a
you,
few hours by picking off town halls. Like it's so easy to do. So we're like, it's not like some crazy demand that we were doing. And
okay.
everyone got it. I mean, everyone got it easily and quickly. And there was a few that only made it to 1500, and we'd ask you them why, and they're like, well, I'm farming, I'm not going to push. And like, dude, it only takes a week. Like this is, to show that have loyalty to the clan, and we're working together. And it's, and so then they would get kicked out or leave or whatever. And so so
All
yeah, we
right. So
got
it'd be a bunch of people that ended up leaving, or was that just few? Kind of.
no, there's just a few people that then weren't
That's
good clanmates anyway. They were people that had just kind of popped in to mooch our donations and then
well.
leave anyway. And
It's kind of cool if you have a sort of clan. Like I guess in our clan, there's people from all over, like Boneyard and Lady Boneyard, who just started in the clan. So for
hmm
her to get Crystal, and people know other people from outside the game. So that would be hard. But I like that idea of, hey, everybody get to this level.
yeah, hmm
If and this has been coming up on Twitter and talking with I'm gonna butcher his name probably Klugo, uh, Cluggo,
okay,
Cluggo, just about where people fall in the clan and how you determine where you, some people are saying they have trouble getting into a clan because they are only at a certain level, but I
yeah,
can
because
see
they set
why
the trophy limit or whatever.
yeah, the trophy limit,
Mm. And
or
usually
not even
those
trophy
trophy
limit,
limits.
but they'll look
Oh,
at it as like, okay, I'm a level 70,
hmm
so they'll reject you because you are,
yeah.
you know what I mean. So
Which makes sense though. A clan is not going to remain high level if they just let in a bunch of low level people. The only
right,
way to improve and progress. Although you mean you do see a lot of times a super high level clan with like at the bottom like a level like 30 and a level 50 or something, and it's because it's the leader's nephew or
yeah,
son or whatever, and so they let them be in there. And so I
well,
mean that kind of stuff is understandable. But I mean,
and it's
if
and I
oh,
say
go ahead.
this, I only say this because it's just kind of a being in Minnesota nice for so long,
hmm
and I did a little bit of a push, and we did one as a clan, but it wasn't anything like what you're talking about
hmm
necessarily. And then a few of us just did our own, and it was just a blast. I was like, okay,
hmm
this is what
Yeah, it's
this
fun.
really rejuvenates you in the game, and
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
it's like, hey, let's fuck it, just say fuck it about our camps and whatever. Let's
Yeah.
just go for it. But we've never been a clan that I don't know, like the rankings and stuff don't really. I don't want to say matter or don't matter, but
Yeah,
it's
no, they don't
not.
matter.
It's just kind of like we're just a bunch of people hanging out
Yeah.
and whatever. But it'd be a whole different experience to be part of a clan who was like, hey, we're really gonna go for
Yeah,
this one
permanent trophy
thing,
push clan who
or even just occasionally like your clan,
mhm.
you hit Crystal.
Oh, where everyone has to do it or
Yeah,
whatever.
you hit
Yeah.
Crystal that says, okay, we're on board, and let's see
hmm
what we can do.
hmm
Um, and see where you can get. I think that would be really a different experience. Like it's not something our clan could do based on the way it's structured.
Yeah,
Is
see,
what I'm saying.
ours, like, we've kind of molded it because we've been in other clans where people are nice, they're, oh no, give them a chance, that guy, acts like a total dickhead and doesn't ever donate, but give him a chance, where we're like, two strikes, you're out, or even one strike. If you request above an open donation and you have appropriate troops in your camps and you just let it sit there, and you have requested, you're looking at your screen, and you left open things below you, like you do that a couple times, you're gone. Because that's
Oh,
just, I mean,
really?
that's the
Yeah.
bare minimum. Like, give 5 archers, you ass. Like, you have,
Yeah.
60 archers in your camp. Why would you not do that? You're useless to our clan then. You're a bloodsucker or whatever. And so there's like a few different things where it's just a no-no, and anyone who has common sense would not do it. I mean, some people in clans are like, "Oh, your donation ratio has to be good." But really, I mean, if someone, only pops on once in a while, they're going to have more requests than donations. And so
Right.
I think that's not really an accurate
Eh,
decider of how good of a clanmate someone
I
is.
agree with you because going on sometimes, I was playing this past weekend,
Hmm.
and I would be playing, and it would be during the day and nobody was requesting,
Hmm.
so I wasn't able to give. And when I went to the British Knights clan, people weren't on when I was on, and
Hmm.
people are donating faster than I can get to them,
Yeah, yeah.
and so I can see that. And also, if if you have got a clan castle that holds, you know, 15, or I've got the 30, so
Hmm.
it's
That's
like
awesome.
I'm gonna be getting. It's harder for me to give more troops
Mhm.
because I have
Oh, because
to
every
get.
time you get, I'd never thought of that. Every time you receive it, you get a whole 30. So your
Yeah,
ratio is that much tougher to keep up with. I didn't even
yeah.
think about
And so if
that.
people aren't requesting, or
Yeah.
I'm not giving troops that, if I'm giving just archers or barbs or whatever,
Hmm.
it makes it hard. So when I
Yeah.
was given hog riders or what, when the
Dragons or.
black rain was flying, through the sky,
Uh-huh.
even at the level 3 drill, it was like,
Uh-huh.
okay, have hog riders, everyone,
Yeah.
hog
And
riders.
everyone loves you, and they're like, oh hell yeah,
Yeah.
you're helping your
Oh,
clan.
there's the
You
hog
get
rider.
to.
Watching
Yeah.
Lady Boneyard take those out for a spin, that was
Uh-huh.
awesome.
Yeah, when you're a low level person and someone gives you high level troops in your clan castle, it can just be a total game changer. You can, down at Town Hall 6 or something, and
Oh,
you
and
have
I think
someone
she was
higher give
lower than
you
that.
awesome troops. Yeah, it's
She had like
sweet.
a 15. I think she had 15 in her castle, so I don't know where
Mm,
that's at. I can't remember, but
probably 7-ish or something.
yeah. So that messes up with your troop donations too. So
Yeah,
so you got to
and
think about that in terms of and the people that request 15, and a lot of
mhm.
times they'll give way more because they have
Yeah, because they have a smaller castle.
they
Huh.
have a
I
smaller
never thought
castle.
about it like that. Yeah, that's because I mean, if you have 15, your ratio is going to be twice as easy to keep up with than someone who has a 30, and
Right.
that's pretty.
And it's not that the
Huh.
people that are, up there aren't. It's just that I think the timing of who requests, when they request, and whatever
Hmm.
can really mess with that. So,
Hmm.
not a
Yeah,
reliable
and I mean,
indicator in
there's
my mind.
some like we're like certain times of day we're super active. Like
Yeah.
kind of in the evening, during the day, people are kind of popping on and off while they're at work. So they'll pop on, request, maybe leave before they get a chance to donate. Then they'll say
Yeah.
thanks in advance, so people know that they're not on. So they don't say, hey, why aren't you donating to me? They have
Yeah.
a reason because they went, back to work or whatever they're doing. But so sometimes there's some poor people in the clan who just desperately want to like they love the clan, they want to be able to stay in the clan, they desperately want to donate, but we are so quick on the trigger, like a thing pops up and then bam, it's
Yes.
gone.
That's.
And then these kids are like, what? Hey, too fast, i
Yeah.
wanted i wanted to donate, and then they're
Quit
like,
giving them fucking
someone
dragons.
request,
I'm trying to
someone
fill up the
please
castle.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they fill up so quickly. So I mean, that's also nice for people that are, they want to keep up, but they have a harder time. If you give bigger troops, then it, goes way way more donations if you're giving dragons or whatever.
Yeah, and I
But
think an easy way to do, and this happened. I was going to say this is an easy way to do it,
hmm,
but it actually turned out to not be so easy. I did a whole bunch. I did I think a whole camp of dragons one night,
hmm,
and I thought I'm going to bed. I'll let them
yeah,
burn through the night,
think I know where you're going with this.
and I'll wake up in the morning and I'll give those dragons
Give them
away.
away, all away.
Yeah,
Yep.
because people have been giving me dragons, and
Hmm.
I don't usually make them. So
Hmm.
no, it took me half the day to get rid of them.
That's what sucks.
And I'm thinking, because I don't want to go in with all, these dragons.
Yeah, I mean, you made them to donate.
I
To
mean,
go in and waste them all on farming is,
yeah.
a waste of resources.
Frankly, I
And
don't
so,
want to embarrass myself, because I'd probably send them in. I'm not used to
well, there's a bunch of
flying these.
douchebags who come in with an entire dragon army and end up, looting way less than they spent on the army and
Oh
stuff.
man,
And,
I've seen a few this week. I don't know if it was. I know Boots posted one, and I don't know if I experienced this myself. With the new replay or with the replay
yeah, the
stuff,
replay
so
thing
awesome.
is really cool. Oh my God, I love that.
5 pekkas come in
Wow.
and don't make a dent. It
Yeah.
just, and I'm going, oh, that's got to be well, first of all, embarrassing. But like, I'd kind of be sick to my stomach. I'd be like, are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
I'm going in with this fucking troops. I'm going to beat the shit out of this person. I got it. And then one of them turns the wrong fucking way. And then you're in trouble.
Yep. So, yeah, that's so true. It's brutal. So, yeah, I mean, I pay really close attention to, how quickly I'm able to train my army and then how much my army costs. And I try to minimize those two things. And that's how you maximize your farming. And so if you're using a bunch of pekkas and dragons, but so yeah, I used to constantly donate like I would always reserve one barracks for dragons because I didn't care about elixir. So the only way to keep my elixir down was to constantly donate dragons. And when you do that, it sends your donations way up. I was getting 3,000 a cycle, more,
Yep.
and that causes your friend in need to go way up, which gives you experience, and then so you become a higher level because you're donating, and that's which will lead me later to talk about Farm Kings and In the Dark because they have a cool thing going on. But
I can't wait to hear about this. So okay, where are we at now with this?
I guess we can go back to the push. I don't remember what we were talking about.
Yes,
so
the
we should go
push.
Back to
The push. That's where we're at.
So
see, this is what happens. Everybody is we two nerds get together and they start talking, and it's been I think like 3 months or so since we last talked. So like getting caught up on everything is like
been a long time.
Yeah. We get off track and so okay, all right. So
So
push.
what we did, everyone kind of, we let people know way in advance, which is a nice thing to do, especially if you're going to set a minimum requirement. You want to let them know a long time in advance. We're sending out clan mails. We're reminding people in chat. We're just preparing, weeks in advance, preparing people. And then new people come in, so they don't know about it. So we make sure the new people know, the minimum, our target, and just make sure everyone's on board, because it's bullshit to kick someone out if they didn't know there was a push. So before we would kick someone out for not participating, we'd say, do you know that there's a push? And if they're like, oh yeah, I'm just not doing it, then it's like, okay, well, bye. But some people, they have a hard time getting started. They're not as active, and it takes them longer to get to Crystal. But they all got there, pretty quickly. So it wasn't. 2,000. If you're level 70 and above, 2,000 you can get so fast just by picking off town halls on the outside, and then also wiping out level or town hall 7s that are impetuous enough to climb up there and try to mess with you. So
I noticed that on the way up. There's a lot of people that seem to. Maybe it's just the way it's matching, but I just had a feeling like, should you be hanging around up here? You've got. How did you get up here? I don't know what you've been doing. Just maybe the town halls on the outside, I guess, but.
Yeah. There's. I see screenshots of people that are like Town Hall 6. They're like Master 2. And I was like, that's got to be a glitch. And my friend was like, Supercell doesn't have glitch it. Like, they don't, if there's something major like that, they would shut it down. That person somehow did that with their, level 3 troops, took out max bases somehow. Maybe they just clicked next so many times. Because when you get up high, the town halls aren't on the outside anymore.
Well,
because you wouldn't be. No, you're not. I'm talking about like 2,600 cups, though.
No. Oh, yeah. No, I kept mine. I brought mine in when I was up there, and then I put it on the outside because I was looking for those people, and they're still doing that. Even when I'll be at 20, I'll hang out at 21, 2,200, sometimes 2,300, and I'll just leave the town hall. I don't have any bombs around it. Go, just fucking take it. I don't want it. I'll put my bombs other places. I don't want to trick you because you'll throw in a
Mhm.
couple archers and go, oh, this is easy. Then
Mhm.
you'll run into my shit.
Yeah.
But
And they'll be like, "Oh fuck it, I'm gonna attack you."
yeah, but because I moved my town hall in for the first time in months and months
Mhm.
when I was doing just a mini trophy push,
Same here.
and
It felt so weird to have it inside, and yeah,
but it
it was
also
strange.
I all of a sudden just get rolled over and lose
Mhm.
26 at a
Yeah.
time because people were going, well, fuck, I can take him and his loot,
Mhm.
and so then I could just induce a shield because I'd have somebody, town hall level 6 going, oh, that guy's on the outside. Let's see if I can do it, and
Yeah, so they when you get up high though, like people just take out your town hall and take out your base if they're, if everyone up there is maxed, like at Crystal 1 and above, or, Master and above, they just so something that is kind of nice is sometimes you can get defensive cups. If you bring your town hall inside and they fuck up their attack, you
yeah,
get defensive cups, which is way more cups than you lose when you're attacked, because they'll usually 1 star you, maybe 2 star you, but they're higher level, so there's it's affected. But if someone higher level attacks you and they lose, then you get like 30 cups or whatever,
oh
which is
yeah,
pretty nice little thing when you're going up 4 cups at a time getting town halls or
yeah.
something. it's
And
uh
then you
it's
lose
pretty
one and
sweet.
you go, oh,
Yeah, you
fuck.
slide so far back down.
Well,
That's brutal.
and that's the thing. I'm sitting 6 away from winning the defensive stuff, and and getting the gems, and I'm going,
Hmm.
I'm not fucking with it because I would just get rolled over, because people go, the only people that would attack me were people that said, I think I can take this guy
Yep.
instead
And there's a
of,
lot of people that can take you up there. It kind of
yeah,
stopped being fun for me up around like high 2600. It was like I'm not enjoying this anymore, because earlier it was like fun, collecting cups, talking shit to your friends because they can't be as high as you, and trying to compete with them to have the most cups, trying to compete with other clans to have the most clan cups and stuff like that. But then you get up to a certain amount and it's just like
discouraging.
this is just work. I have
Yeah,
to hit next 100 times, 200 times before I can find an attack that I can do. Like,
yeah.
why am I doing this? This is not a good time
And you're
anymore.
not
So
making any money. You're
yeah,
just going,
yeah,
I'm
your
going
base isn't getting
broke.
any
I'm hanging
better.
up here. I've
Yeah,
hit
your
this
loot is going
wall.
down. Yep. Yeah, you hit a wall, and there's so many like different walls. Like there's a farming wall I hit around 2200 or so, where I no longer was able to farm effectively and had to mostly switch to pushing.
Pudding.
I love pudding. And then there's another wall later where it's just like, oh my god, like everyone has a maxed base. Like it's so hard to find someone. So I would get someone who their town hall was one behind one wall or behind 2 walls. I could try to penetrate in there and get it. But
That's
if it
what she
was
said.
in the middle in the middle, then I had no chance. And so just next, and that's not fun. It's not fun
Yeah.
just hitting next hundreds of. I mean, if you watch TV, or you do something else, you're not just staring at it. But I mean, it's just.
Then
So anyway, I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. That's like
you
the end of
zone
the
out and
push.
then you go, oh shit. Something
Yeah.
distracts you and I'm going, oh, I'm
Hmm.
fucking in a battle,
Yeah, yeah, accidentally drop it. Oh my god, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay. So you went up because I looked and I saw you were in the Masters League.
Yeah, so we started out, we gave all these warnings and everything to our clan. We gave advice on how to push. Different people would ask in clan chat, do you have advice? And we'd tell them good ways to do it for their troop level or their town hall level and stuff, and just kind of all work together. And it's fun. You get to know each other. It's just, I don't know, it's a cool way to interact with each other and to have teamwork and stuff. And so we'd let everyone know. Then we'd send messages out during the push, every couple days or even every day sometimes. Where and sometimes a couple in a row if we're sending out a message to talk shit about someone else in the
Yeah.
clan or something. But yeah, just say you're doing a great job, guys. Such and such. We're close to our goal. We have X amount of crystals right now. Like you guys are, and stuff like that. And it keeps people motivated and stuff if they know that the elders and leaders are paying attention, and that everyone's appreciating your contribution to the clan. Because I mean, even if the bottom people don't make too much of a difference, they still make a difference. When you're, especially when you're up there trying to get slightly more cups than another clan, so you can move up in the global rankings and stuff. It's like everything counts, which is pretty cool. So I mean, the people at the top, I mean, what they're doing is way affects it way more because I mean, was it you guys that was talking about that the way in which the clan trophies are calculated, like the top 10 people is like 50% of the
I don't
has
know.
50% of,
I
so
don't
there's
know if we
something
ever went
else.
over that.
So I must have seen it somewhere else. Then it's weighted so that the top people have way more effect on the trophy count than the bottom people. So if you have some people that are low at the bottom, it doesn't screw you over anymore because it's like the bottom 50% only count for 20% of the total trophies, or
Okay.
I don't know, something like that. So, but it's still, you want everyone to be doing
Yeah.
well, and so we
Because
started the
everything
trophy.
counts still.
Yeah,
It still
everything
all
counts at
counts.
least a little bit, especially when you're trying to get, little increments to try to hit your goal. So our goal was, everyone had their kind of own individual goals, X amount more than their last time, or they want to get to Crystal 1, or they want to get to Master, and and stuff like that. But our big goal was we wanted our clan to get in the top 500 in the world. So
Oh,
you know how you can like see where your
yeah.
clan is, and normally we don't care. We're farming. We
Right.
don't pay any attention. But we wanted to get up to the point where we were within the 500 best clans on the planet, and so that was our goal. So we pushed for a long time. We had a Usually when people push, in my experience, they have a start date and an end date,
Okay.
and so you're supposed to start at this date and end at this date, but it doesn't really make your goal in a push should be to reach as many cups as you can, not to get
Do it for in
how
a
much you
certain
can
amount of
in
time.
this. Yeah, because I mean, what I would do in that situation then is I would just go up to a pretty high amount to start before the push started, and then just so I can actually max out my cups. Whereas some people, if they're down in 1,200 cups, they start the push, they got no shot to make a significant amount of cups.
Yeah.
So,
Or
oh, go ahead.
even in that period of time,
Hmm.
um,
They might be busy or something.
yeah,
They
you're
might have,
busy,
yeah.
or if you're already, or like some people will drop and then go up to see how much you can climb.
Hmm.
Like I think kind of what you're saying is just do it and do it to see it as far as you can
Yeah.
absolutely go, without having that time constraint necessarily.
Exactly. And so what we did was we set an end date. We said no, we said you can start whenever you want. We end on December 1st at noon. So by December 1st at 12 o'clock, you had to, whatever we were at then was, what our, so we wanted to hit the top 500 by that point, basically.
Okay. So if it
And
happened on November 28th, that was awesome.
yeah, I mean that would be great because then you can keep going higher and higher. Try to so you have as many as possible on December 1st. Everyone tries to max out their cups on
Okay.
December
Okay,
1st.
I
So
see what
some
you're saying.
people, if you start way too early, you might peak, on December or November 27th, and you
Run
start to
out
go
of
down.
run
Yeah,
out
and
of
so
elixir and
yeah, run out of
everything,
elixir, run out of gold by
gold and
hitting next or whatever, or not stockpiling it before the put. Like that's one of the messages we'd give to people is stockpile, your gold and elixir because you're going to need it during the push. Don't do big upgrades, right before the push because then it'll set you back. And so what I knew there was going to be like a time during the main week where I wasn't going to be able to play much, so I started a little earlier and got up quicker, and then kind of was able to coast for a little while I was busy. And some people were just they hadn't pushed before, so they're like, well, when do I start? So we said, well, a week in advance, is a good time frame. But if you want, you can farm up till 4 days in advance as long as you get crystal. We want you to try to get as high as you can, but if you don't give a crap about it and you just want to farm, if you get crystal, you're participating enough. And people really, pretty much everyone was giving it their all because we had so many masters, and everyone
cool.
got into it and stuff. And
Yeah,
so
it was cool in our clan to wake up and see like Boots Electric and Melb. Uh, and I think Ray Cheddar was up there, and I'm trying to think
with
who
the
else.
black badge.
What's that?
With the black badge, you mean? Or like
Yeah.
crystal one? Or
Yeah, the hit masters. Sorry.
nice. It looks so cool at the top of your
Yeah,
clan.
and it was like he got up, and all of a sudden they'd hit it, and it's like awesome, because they just got 1,000 gems or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and so that was really cool, and I'd love to do it now. With I just need too much stuff. But,
Yeah,
and I want to be part
mean,
of something like what you did, or have
yeah.
our whole clan do it all at one time, because
Mhm.
we kind of did it as. We did one before, I think, where we saw how far we were going, or it turned into that. Like it just started, a few of us just started it, and we were all kind of pushing, and
Mhm.
and yeah, and I don't even remember. We never got that close. So, did you
So
make it?
so that'll be the end. We gotta wait
Okay,
for that. That's the suspense here.
okay, you're
So
the storyteller. That's
so
awesome.
our other goal is like we want to get someone to master. We figure there's two people that are really good that we figure they're gonna hit master. If we get three people to master, that would be so badass. We ended up with 8 people in master, which
Nice.
was just like way. I mean, some people just shattered their goal, and I guess I was one of them. I went way higher than I thought I'd be able to go, and it's cool to see people kind of like surprise themselves and push their limits and stuff. And there's one guy who's level 70. He's a guy that was only allowed in the clan because he was a real life friend of one of the elders. So we're like, yeah, whatever. He's level, 50 something or 40 somethings, but he's a cool guy. So but this guy skyrocketed. Like he gained levels so fast. He was so active, and now
Really?
he's like level like low 70s. But he got to 2400 something. Well, anyway, what's no must have been whatever master is 2600 or something. He got to master as level 70, which was pretty badass because I mean that's tough to do. He didn't have his base was not it was a T8 Town Hall 8 that was halfway through or something, or just
Yeah.
not something that's easy to attack for the people up there. But yeah, and then so our clan did amazing. Like we were all going and stuff, and so we were watching ourselves climb. We were top 800. Keep going, guys.
Oh
We're top
man.
800 with 4 days left. Top 700. We send it out clan mail. We got top 700, top 600. It's going. Oh, we're 530. And like this is
Wow.
like a day before. So the day that push ended, December 1st in the morning, we hit 496, and
Ooh.
we were so. I mean that like top 500 was a really like kind of
Lofty goal.
far-fetched goal when we started. We're like, yeah, I mean, that's a cool goal for us to push for, but there's no way we're gonna get that. So the fact that we ended up with exactly 4 spots under 500, we were just like, man, that was such a cool, like, successful push, and we were just so like pleased with the result. And then of course you have the after push hangover where now we're all screwed over, with our farming
Yeah.
and trying to start from scratch
Oh,
and
I'm
scramble. How do
exhausted.
I farm? What do I,
Yeah.
and so
Isn't that fun? Because and that's what I said earlier about. Remind me of that because it's
mhm,
like the after push, or as you're going down and you hit your ceiling.
mhm,
Do you find? Because I do, and depending on where I'm at, in the trophies. Because now I'm fluctuating between 2,100 and I'll hit 1,800 after a few horrible
mhm.
battles or
While you're
whatever.
farming, you mean?
Well, I'm always going for loot.
Mhm.
I'm always going for loot, and I don't really care about the trophies. But when I
Yeah,
was
which is
pushing,
me
I
most of the
always
time.
I always went for at least one of the loot. It had to
Mhm.
be. I wouldn't go if there was a town hall outside. I wouldn't touch it. And they didn't have anything. I'm like, it's just gonna fuck up my. I kind of ADD about my number of troops that are doing this, and I go, okay, I
Well,
send in a couple
you
of
are
these, and
dropping the ball then. That if you are, I mean, I can see where I know that you like to have your exact
yeah, well,
mixture of the army, but that's how you climb. I mean,
yeah.
catching all of those is you get most of your cups, or at least like half your cups, just from those alone. The
See, and
ones
I
that.
got up, and I got up. I think what was my high? It was right before Masters. I think it was like 60 below Masters, but I
Mm,
always went in and got something, and I
mhm,
probably could have got there faster. But
I
I
have a
just didn't even
solution
think
for
about it.
you.
And you know what? The other day, I should pay more attention to the trophies because the other day I just got done with an attack and realized there was a town hall outside.
Well,
Like,
okay. I have a solution that will not disturb your ADD situation or
okay. And
OCD
I
situation.
don't have a
You,
very specific army anymore. I just have my barracks going, but I don't want to spend a bunch and then come back and have like 20 bombers. You know what I mean? Because
well,
they're
so I mean, you can just also arrange in your barracks like so they come out at the right. But so if you use a hero to take down a town hall, it won't mess with your army at all. So you
good
could get
point.
your archer queen or something in there, stand in the corner, shoot the town hall. As long as they don't have Teslas like right at the edge, then you're all good, and you can
Pull her out!
save your
Pull her
army.
out!
Yeah, exactly.
Surrender!
That I mean, that's horrible if you have a hero in there, and that's why I usually send like a couple crappy troops to check for bombs and Teslas before I would send a hero in. But
I'll
yeah,
have my hero walking through camp, trying to
hmm
finish things off, and I'm going, okay,
hmm
there's not really anything left that I
don't
care
die.
about. I can pull them out, pull
I don't want to wait 2 hours
shit,
for
yeah,
you to
because I mean, it's just
heal.
you add on minutes, so you got to wait for this
Mhm.
guy.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I try to not get as little of their health down as possible, unless it's like a town hall that I really need, or like a huge loot or something.
yeah,
And
well,
they're nice on defense.
and so on the way down, or as as the trophy hangovers, I forget how to attack.
Hmm
I go, okay, I'm farming. Which troops did I use? Oh
hmm
wait, how did I send them in again?
hmm
And that's my after push hangover. Or you
hmm
hit the farming realms and you're going, wait, okay, minions. No,
hmm
I got to remember,
Yeah.
this and
Oh yeah,
that and
use
this and
that. What
that,
do they
and
do?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's my uh, after push hangover. Forget the troops and what you're going for with what you
hmm
have. So
And you lose your momentum. You lose your rhythm of using the builders. You lose just a lot of. You get in kind of a farming groove that kind of carries you through the game. But once you kind of the needle gets off the record a little bit, then you gotta kind of get back in that groove before you can. So it takes a little while to get your momentum back up, I feel
that's a
like.
good way to put it. Okay, so
Yeah.
let's talk about these two clans because
Oh yeah. So
this
in the
is
Dark and Farming Kings.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
This is a really interesting thing. This is I thought this was a glitch when I first saw it, right? So someone sends me a screenshot a few months ago of a guy who is level 200. And I'd never seen
wow.
anyone over like level like 120 or something. And I was like, how the hell did this guy get to level 200? He must have hacked it or something. He must have done. And then it's still the same thing. Like Supercell has
Oh,
got this shit locked down. I mean, they pay close attention. They're not going to let someone exploit a loophole or a hack or something that lets you get to level 200. So I kind of forgot about it. I was like, whatever. So at one point in chat, I see this guy um, who is saying, "Come join our clan, and leave. Come get max troops and leave." And I was like, "What? What is
oh,
that?" So I look at their clan. Everyone has like 20,000 donations, 30,000. Guy had over 100,000 donations during whatever point it
holy.
was in the cycle. 100,000 donations. There's guys who are level like 215, 190, and they're all getting it all from the friend in need. They're getting it all from getting this ridiculous amount of donations. And the way they
Wow.
do it is, I mean, it'd be cool if they were just like somehow churning it through on their cell, themselves, like using their clan castle. But I guess there's that 20-minute what
Oh
cooldown
yeah,
or
that
whatever. So
cooldown.
yeah,
Because that's
yeah,
what
you
I
could.
thought when he started. I thought, oh wait, you could probably get a troop, drop it,
hmm
but
Yeah,
you'd have
just
to
keep
do the
going.
spend the gems to get it another one. But okay,
Yeah,
so
so
they have people coming
so what
in.
they do, yeah, they spam the chat and they invite people. So they leave like there's like maybe 45 members or something. I haven't looked at this is a while ago that I looked at. I didn't like look at it too closely, but I think it was about 45 members. They'd leave about 5 spots for visitors. So what the visitors would, I never like went into it and looked around or anything. But the visitors, no matter what level you are, you jump in, get your clan castle filled, and then you leave. Then next person jumps in, failed, leave, jumps in, failed, leave. So they're just constantly people
Wow.
hopping in and out of the clan. They're donating. Their donations are just racking up, racking up. And I mean, it doesn't seem like you could get 100,000 donations just from doing that. But if you have successfully like hooked a chat room so that everyone is, or a global or what, and
Yeah.
so that everyone is just like, oh yeah, 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 especially if they're lower level, like max troops, max troops. Oh my god,
Yeah.
it's
Jump
great
in.
for them. And so these guys, like,
Especially if you don't
it's
have a
crazy.
clan. If you
Yeah,
don't, if
yeah,
you're out there
exactly.
not,
If you're a hopper anyway.
if you're a hopper or you
Hmm.
just want to go solo, you can hop
Hmm.
in. And then it's not like you have to go back and join some,
Yeah.
back to your old clan.
Hmm. Yeah, so I mean, just whatever level you are, they'll accept. I mean, I guess I don't really know there. It might be interesting to have an interview with someone from one of those clans because I don't quite get how the mechanism works. But they have this. I mean, I think In the Dark and Farming Kings are the most
In the dark and farming
famous
games.
ones or the highest ones. But I'm sure there's other people that do that. There's got to be lots of other clans that are doing that. But
It's
yeah, so if you want to get to level 200, that's the only way to do it, as far as I know.
Well, and what's really kind of interesting about it, if you think about it, you look at number one player, in the world or U.S. or wherever, and then you go, wow, they found a way to be number one at something that was really kind of unanticipated.
Hmm.
There's not a leaderboard for that,
You
but
mean the highest amount of trophies?
no, 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 just the highest level.
Oh, the
And
highest level, yeah.
yeah, because even like what's the number one?
Hmm.
I don't have it open in front of me, but um,
Yeah, because the amount of your level really has very little correlation with the
your
people who are the highest trophies, which is
yeah.
kind of interesting.
So you could theoretically it'd be. I think that opens up an interesting piece to the game because people who've played a long time donate a lot. If you could just go in and buy your way to the top, you're not
Hmm.
going to have as many experience points
Hmm.
as
But the
somebody
the
at the
game
same.
doesn't the game doesn't have any formula for valuing experience points though, so it's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
like,
what I mean. There's no
yeah.
leaderboard for it yet,
Hmm.
but could you imagine if
That,
somebody
yes, maybe someday that would be.
who,
But then
who's
they're
the highest
encouraging
level?
this weird hopping,
Yeah,
factory,
it was just an
um,
unintended consequence of.
yeah, of how Supercell set up the experience.
Well, I wonder if they ever anticipated anybody doing that. Let me see here.
I
What
don't
was
know. It's a weird thing. I mean, I never would have thought of someone doing that.
the
So it's
the
interesting.
top player in the world right now is at level 131.
And there's
Um,
probably a bunch below them that are higher level than that,
there's
right?
a 151, not right directly underneath.
Hmm.
Um, there's a lot that are higher, but I haven't seen a. I'm just looking down the list here, and I don't see any 200s on nowhere near that on
Yeah,
this.
because I mean, they don't spend their time
Yeah,
working on trophies. They just spend their time maxing out their troops and donating them. Like
it's just
they couldn't care less.
it's an interesting way to think about it
Yeah, to
to
play
do
the
it.
game.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I wonder if the well, I
It
bet there's
doesn't seem
probably
fun to me. It doesn't, like, to spend your time in the game instead of attacking, spending all of it spamming the chats. Like that.
yeah.
Like Global is like such a awful place. Like, anybody a girl here? Yeah,
You know
I want
what?
a girlfriend.
I
Yeah, I want a clan that donates wizards. Yeah. Like, it's just it's
that is
awful.
yeah, and in fact, I completely forgot about global for a long time. I
Hmm.
hadn't thought about it, and then the other day I flipped over, and I just flipped over right now,
Hmm.
and look at join. I need a
Hmm.
clan.
Hmm.
Uh, it's just funny.
And people
So
talk about some creepy stuff in there too. So yeah, it's weird.
yeah, I completely forgot about it.
So
Well,
to spend all your time lurking in there, it's, spamming it with, some message is just, that seems like that wouldn't really be that fun. But it is cool to be that high of level. It's pretty impressive.
yeah. Well, I do have to say to everybody listening and to you, of course, and of course, Boaz, that usually every time Boneyard and I get together to do a podcast or something's going on, it ends up being a snowstorm outside. And
Yeah,
and
it does happen a
our
lot.
normally scheduled time, or when we were gonna do it, and it was funny because I just looked and Lady Boneyard said, "Hey Scotty, when are you guys going to do another episode? There's a snowstorm outside."
Like, I am doing an episode.
Every time, and so that snowstorm hit, and we ended up doing it. Boneyard couldn't be here because there's 2 feet of snow. Craziness outside,
And Scotty and I delayed our start time for the recording session because the snowblower wasn't working over here, so I had to shovel all this snow, and it took me a lot longer than expected. So that was kind of a pain in the ass.
I had that problem yesterday, Boaz. I warred with that son of a bitch for 6 hours, and finally succeeded because I'm like, I am not fucking shoveling that driveway. It's too big. It's too. So I had to do a little bit of shoveling, but I was this close to buying a new snowblower.
Yeah, I just shoveled for my wife's car because I knew she'd have to get out and she wouldn't want to shovel it herself.
And you're a sweet man.
Yeah, I am a sweet man, but I figured I can do mine tomorrow, or I can just gun it.
Yeah,
so
pray.
They don't get stuck.
Hope and pray.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've talked about a ton of stuff, a lot of food for thought, things I hadn't even thought about. So thanks for coming on again, and we gotta catch up soon. There's a bunch of stuff with trophy pushing and things that are coming up that we'll have to talk about, but
for sure.
But yeah, so thanks for being here, and
it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. It'll be fun to catch up soon and see, especially when you do another trophy push. It'd be kind of cool to do a play-by-play or something like that.
Yeah, and like
I'm
the
getting
things
ready. I want to do one of these days.
It is cool. It probably made you, kind of psyched to do one. About this. It is pretty cool.
It's like what we talked about. You're kind of getting a little burned with this new update stuff. Hopefully that's going to change it. But that trophy push kind of reinvigorated me. It was like, okay, I was playing to play instead of focusing so much on that camp. And
by making the badges look cool, like it's such like a childish thing to be like, I want a Crystal 1 badge, I want a black badge, but it's so cool.
It
to
is.
get a black badge.
It is.
Like oh my god, dude,
well,
that's amazing.
I can't wait, but it is. You go up to the purple and you're like, oh, I don't want fucking gold again.
Yeah, exactly. It feels so weird to have gold after you've been up there.
Like, wait, how does this work? But all right, well, cool. Everybody get a hold of us, clashcleanspodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter at WBSMT Radio, or you can call, what's the number?
I don't remember now. I knew it before.
424-27-CLASH.
Oh, yeah.
That's 424-27-CLASH.
Yep,
424-27-CLASH. Or a new thing is, because of our international people, if you want to send an iMessage, if you're on an iPhone, but now we've got Android people too. If you want to iMessage, so it has to be from an Apple phone, clashclans@gmail.com, and you're international, we'll get the message. We'll get the text. So you can do it that way too. There's so many ways to get a hold of people. It's like things just keep changing and going, wait, okay. But so yeah, that's a new way. Always leave us a comment at clashclanspodcast.com. And Boneyard will be back soon to do another podcast once this crazy storm's over. But
I'm off to do more shoveling now.
All right. Well,
everyone be happy if you're in a warm climate.
Yeah. And maybe a lot of people might not even have really ever been in snow. That'd be...
Yeah. That would suck, though.
Yeah, I would hate that. All right. Well, thanks, Boaz. Keep it clashy.
All right. Have a good one, Scotty.
You too.
Skilly beep beep.